Hi there, Pumpkin. I'm going to outline for you what happens in Altseasons during a Bitcoin halvening year. We don't have much data to go off, but you are my friend. I'm wearing a Pokemon hat, and I have the others dominance chart here for you. Now, friends, others is, of course, the outside top 10 crypto. It removes Bitcoin, it removes Ethereum, it removes everybody liquidity linked to them. We don't want them at all. I don't want them to obfuscate anything. This is all we have to go off. Now, in 2016, this is where we are right now. All right. In 2016, friends, we had, look at this. Okay. This is the craziest part. I know it doesn't sound nice, but this part was halfway and then this was halfway. You see this? 1 and 2. We do nothing for the first part. We accelerate at the end and then it was over. This was 230 days. All right. So what I've done is I've just measured from the top, from the bottom to the top and a pop. And then we literally do nothing. And now, you know what happens here, friends? Bitcoin breaks the all-time high. So keep that in mind. There's a Bitcoin halvening year. An Altseason appears. Okay. And then the reset happens until Bitcoin breaks its all-time high. That is point number 1. What happened in 2020? It's the exact same thing. This Altseason happened. Okay, if you notice, friends, this is the craziest part. Nobody in crypto thought that the last quarter of 2019 was an Altseason. But all I'm doing is measuring from the actual bottom. But that was the time to get in, wasn't it? Yes, it was the time to get in. So the year before the Bitcoin halvening year, that's the time to get in. It just doesn't feel like it. So it was moving up along. Look what happens now though. Okay, we move up along. This is zombie virus right here. And then we begin the next phase. Okay, so look at this. We have part 1, part 2. You see that? Let's move it again. You have part 1, right? And then part 2. Part 1, friends, Sir Ivan the Great, the Ivan technologist, friend of the channel, was literally making YouTube videos saying, guys, firstly, good morning, crypto. Keep your back straight, fluffy slippers on. Please go use Uniswap. You aren't using crypto unless you're using Uniswap. That was literally what Ivan on Tech was saying during this time. And I wish I listened more because I only figured out DeFi and all this other stuff around the top here. Okay, so think about it. No one even knew we were in Altseason until it was too late. Altseason in 2020, Bitcoin halvening year, topped out in August. It was actually here. So this print, it's a fake print. This was literally everything was still capitulating, all right? So nothing made a new high in September, October of that year. It wasn't it. It was probably something flunking around, weird data points, but we know that because we were here, we experienced it, okay? So literally, if you look back and you just observe, you know that, all right, literally the time to sell was right here. So isn't that crazy, friends? If you want to see that time period, I have it here, 378 days. So you have 231 days, 378 days, okay? Now we are in our Bitcoin halvening year, right? We are in 2024, where we are today. Isn't that cool? If you start measuring the altcoins from their bottom, it was actually June 2023. And you might say, absolutely no way in hell was that an Altseason. Of course not. But Altseasons is just when everybody gets excited at the tops. The time to buy was in June. Okay, that was also, friends, coincidentally, the corrupt SEC came and took on Richard Hart. They said Cordanzo and Solana securities. That marked the bottom. That was actually when you had to get in. You actually had to use them as the index. It was funny, as an indicator. I don't know how long this is going to last. I can just tell you today, if you measure the exact time periods, we are 259 days in. So, in 1 year, it's pretty much over already. It could be over, friends. It could be over. But in another year, there's still much more to go. Let's do 378 days. That would bring us to June. Now, this is something interesting coming along. I'm going to mark a point. There's a US Fed meeting on May 1st, which is here. And then the other one will be in June around here. See this period? So I'm praying, friends, once again, we don't know. I'm just praying that we go up like that. I hope we do this because that will bring us back to April 2022 altcoin dominance price. That's what we actually want to see. We want to see 0. And that might be, see, look, it's rate cut somewhere here. That might be the marker until the end. Now, it wouldn't really be the end, but this is January 2025, friends. So you never know, man. You might go up here. See, it's moving around up here, but you don't know it's actually over until this happens. That's when everyone thinks it's over. And then, if you notice, traditionally, we're just guessing, Bitcoin breaks the all-time high up around here. So if you go back in time, that's actually what's happened. And you can actually see the ferocious altcoin seasons that happen. Snap. That's Bitcoin breaking. Bitcoin actually breaks the all-time high here, December 2020. Huge alt season. You see that vertical move? Also, look when it did it here too. Isn't that crazy? Bitcoin breaks the all-time high, friends. Huge. You see these two big alt seasons. Enormous. So wouldn't that be nice if when Bitcoin breaks it, we have some huge giant alt season? That would be great. So there you go, right? Controversial, or is it? I'm basically not even telling you anything different is happening. If you believe this thing has got a lot of legs to go, you're the one telling me this time is different. So I'm praying, hoping that we run right up into that Fed rate cut, because that'll just be like a very clear, obvious signal. It doesn't have to. We're just looking for that. That's all. So it could very well be that alt season is over today, right now, or right, we've got more to go. If we do have more to go, you know what to look for. You know that, okay, actually we're halfway through. Okay, so look, it's not that much time, right? Everything's just got to literally start to go vertical. You need to get March, April, May, somewhere here. Something's going to happen big. Maybe that happens. Okay, once again, you're not here to be right. You're here to make money. I don't care about gaining more views and gaining more subs based off any of these things. Okay, I don't care about that. It doesn't make you money. Okay, what makes you money is being prepared. That's what makes you money. You need a strategy to go in. Now, what's our strategy? Turbo long. Our strategy is still turbo long. It's just I'm always thinking ahead of the game, because I don't know if you've noticed by now, friends, in the heat of the moment, people make the worst decisions and the wrong decisions. They do the opposite of what they should be doing. When things are going down, instead of people thinking, think rationally, these things are going to recover? Instead of thinking like that, they click sell. Okay? And then on the other side, when things are going up, when it's euphoric, because they're not happy with the amount of portfolio that they have, instead of looking at the data where we say, hey man, this is the time to be exiting. Okay, you should be exiting 20% of your portfolio, say every week for the next 5 weeks, or 10%, you know what I mean? Instead of doing that, people will be saying, no, I think we've still got another 5x to go, another 3x to go. From my point, starting today, we've got another point. So the data doesn't lie, man. I'm just drawing squiggly lines here, friends, of course. You don't never really know what comes out, but you know, already see, right? Even if you miss this, let's say you're not able to sell anything here, okay? Don't worry, because you know what's the danger one? The danger is Bitcoin breaking the all-time high. That's the danger one. By danger, it means basically you can't be buying up there. You got to buy before it. Right? That's when the weakest of weekends come in traditionally. If it repeats again, we don't know. We're just guessing, man. I'm dude on the internet wearing a Pokemon hat, telling you there's this thing called the 4-year cycle. It's going to break one day, but for some freaking reason, it has not broken at all yet. The business cycle, liquidity cycle, altcoins, and how everything moves, it is what it is, okay? So don't forget, the mentality of a Bitcoin halvening year, friends, alt season is, at least we're not going down, okay? It's not what comes in the Bitcoin breaking the all-time high season. That is, oh my gosh, we're all going to be rich. That's that season that comes. This isn't that season. This season is, we are the future. We are undervalued. We're going up. We are optimistic. That's what it is, the optimistic phase. And we're not going down. Okay, we're not going down. Bears suck. That's what this phase is basically. It's basically like the market psychology here and there. I want you to think about though, okay, if you see this, remember, this distance, if this happens, this is going to feel really, really, really bad, because I want to show you, altcoins, friends. For example, here, when this happened, okay, this is altcoins dropping like 50%. Okay, altcoins dropped 50%. It was huge as well. You also have, when this happened, okay, this is Ethereum dropping, I think, 60% to 70%. Okay, so this is Ethereum though, not all the other altcoins. So you could have a check back. So just be prepared for a 50 to 60% drop, which means, like, is that worth exiting? Maybe, because you got to pick the top. I know you're going to say, oh, I'm going to sell the top and buy the bottom. What if you don't, man? What if you're off by a couple of percentage points? It changes everything a lot. All right. So that's just something you've got to think about. Maybe the euphoria signs are there in clear and crisp. There's no guarantee of that. What am I personally doing? I don't know yet. I want to see how high it goes. If it doesn't go that high, I'm willing to hold it because the opportunity cost missed if you get this wrong is too big. But I do think if we do get euphoria, I think it's nice psychologically to say to yourself, you know what? 20% stable coins wouldn't kill me. 20%. With the intention to buy back blood only. I only buy back blood. Okay? Not like a dip here and there. It's 20% sits on the sidelines. So yeah, maybe you have your portfolio by then is like 50K. You're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to put 10K on the side. It's not for buying like a 20% dip or a 30% dip. No. We're just sitting there folding your arms for the rest of the year from like June to December, otherwise known as December. And you say, you know what? When everybody's saying it's literally freaking over and there will never be another rally again, nothing ever good is going to happen. Okay, that's when we get in. Otherwise, you leave it. And you're not going to miss out with that 20 grand, with that 20% portfolio. You know why, friends? Because if you're wrong, Bitcoin's going to break the all-time high. And if Bitcoin breaks the all-time high, which it goes to 70K, you will have 1 to 2 months to buy altcoins with the rest of your portfolio sitting there. You will have time. And it's not just me like guessing. This is what happens every time. Okay. You know, when Bitcoin broke the all-time high here, friends, look at this. Bitcoin's breaking the all-time high. This is in 2017. You had, remember, these are weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have like 1 to 2 months, friends. Also here. Okay. This is also happening. Bitcoin breaking the all-time high. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. You see this? 4 weeks. That's a long time. Think about that. You have 28 days to think about, are things looking bullish or not? Plenty of time. I'm glad we've gone through this because the biggest mistake you would make is you have your stable coins sitting there, 20%, and then you see this tiniest little dip and you're scared about missing the FOMO run because you'll see like a lower high, but you won't know it's a lower high. You'll think it's going to keep continuing up. And you're just going to sit there going like, oh, better get in, thinking that you better get in because you're going to miss it. Okay, so this is just, you got to be careful. And trust me, there's going to be some fake outs. It's going to be hard, man. I'm telling you, it's not easy. We might fake out, might like break the high for like a day or a week, and then everything comes back down again for a second round trip at the end of the year. So either way, I'm feeling confident because I know the weak hands are not in yet. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button on. I'm wearing a Pokemon hat. To Mum and Daddy, love them. Catch you soon.